nice, short, and sweet. And we're back up and running. We're starting the draft here. It's going to be Cursed Hollow. This is game 1 between Glorious and Clairvoyant. This is round 3 of the losers bracket.
Yep. Kings of the Storm, number 4.
Yep.
Okay, so loser is out after this. So best of 3, and if you don't make it through, that's it. You are out of the tournament. So moving into this draft here, we have on Cursed Hollow, of course, Glorious versus Clairvoyant here. I think Glorious is taking first pick, first ban, and they have decided to ban, they being Glorious, Zeratul. Much to Glaurung's dismay, they have opted to ban out Zeratul, and Clairvoyant Gaming is banning out Tassadar. So following after that, first pick for Glorious is Tychus. Then we see a Vala Arthas pick out of Clairvoyant. Following that is a Falstad Kerrigan pick for Glorious, and then Clairvoyant Gaming is following up with a Chen Uther.
Yeah, okay, so up and running. Looking pretty interesting. Muradin Kerrigan with a Brightwing Falstad Tychus. Now, Tychus not being banned out, weird enough. That's really uncommon. Tassadar being banned above Tychus is really quite rare. And, well, on the flip side, we can see the draft there. And just like, we'll talk about it more once we get into the game, but comparing the two drafts, because Glaurung's ready to go. He hit that start button. He's like, don't care, the casters are ready. We're playing
I told him it was good. I told him it was
okay,
good.
you're the worst.
Yep. I just like to make life difficult, as if the exploit crashing wasn't enough.
I know, right?
All right, so they took Tyrande. Clairvoyant took Tyrande. That was their final pick. We jumped into it so fast you guys didn't get to check that out. Also, Glorious opted to take Muradin, and there's no Nazebo to deal with.
No Nazebo.
And Nazebo wasn't even banned out either. This is kind of a weird draft.
Do these teams even know what game they're playing?
I know. I mean, it's,
no.
No, they know what game they're playing. They're so far ahead of the meta.
Oh my goodness.
They're showing us the new stuff.
Weeks and weeks ahead. Tychus will be played. We're going to get to see his beautiful face for a change, and as we load up our beautiful graphic, we'll see Clairvoyant is in fact the blue team, and at the red carpet, it's going to be Glorious Gaming.
Yeah, so to start things off for Clairvoyant Gaming, we have Echo playing Arthas, Clown on Vala, Spanker on Chen, Caterpillar on Uther, and Atlanta on Tyrande.
Now, I've said this in the past, Caterpillar is probably the best name in the community.
Yeah,
just,
you like
just
that?
Imagine
you
a
like
pillar of cattle. Like, it's so good. While going into the other half of the map, we have Glaurung playing the Fat Kerrigan. Oh, it's so pretty. Syracuse will be playing Falstad Tychus, played by Cthon Lock. Brightwing by Nirok. And last but not least, CPs will be playing Kitty and Muradin once again.
Yep. All right, so I'm looking to see what kind of build Tyrande is going, because Tyrande is it's an odd pick, and it's not their only healer. Of course, we can see that Uther is there as well. So it looks as though Tyrande is going to be going a Sentinel build. The first one, I believe, is Pierce, right?
Yes.
The first upgrade, yes.
Level 1 talent is Pierce, and level 4 you get the
cooldown reduction.
Yep.
Okay. So actually, Tyrande, funnily enough, was banned out of maybe 2 tournaments ago. She had a bit of a bug where the cooldown reduction on her owl, if you pierce through multiple targets, it was triggering maybe twice or something to that effect. Basically, would reset the cooldown of some of your hevier things, and it looks like Spanker is a bit out of position.
So much damage. The grenade's not available though. I mean, they did a lot of work there. So nicely done. Nice pressure here.
Yeah, Glaurung did a good job landing that combo that Kerrigan is. We're so used to seeing Kerrigan land. That is the Primal Grasp into Impale Blades. Really nice stuff. Of course, anytime you hit that, you're in trouble. Especially if there's any other teammates on the other side nearby, you're going to be taking a lot of damage.
And look at Clown being fearless versus ZPs. ZPs doesn't care about any damage he takes because he heals up right quick. But Clown,
yeah, I don't like that at all from Clown. We've talked about this some of the previous matches, but Muradin has 20 base HP regen, and his trait on top of that, he hasn't tapped well, guys. Oh, he just grabbed a regen. He's already back up. Oh, he might. Oh, okay, he's making us look bad. God. That's probably more for mana purposes, right?
Yeah, it's all for mana. Thanks, CPs. Well, on the top lane, we have the aggression continuing here for Glorious Gaming. They got the 3 members, Nirek, Glaurung, and Cthon Lock, putting a lot of pressure on. The towers, you can see the bottom tower very low on mana, half on health already. Only 1 minute 50 seconds into this game.
Yep. So one of the other interesting talents that we see taken is ZP's, his Muradin. He takes... It's on his Thunderclap, which is the AoE around him, that slows down their auto attacks by I think 30%. I'm not sure. That's it's odd to see that. Usually we'll see perhaps the mana regen. It's refunded if you hit with the Stormbolt. Or perhaps you'll take the upgraded one where you can get more damage on it every time you hit a heroic. But not the case. He's going for the slow. So he's looking at the enemy team. He's saying, "There's somebody that autos too much." But we got a little bit of a fight happening here.
Oh my goodness! Glaurung gets the Envenom down. It's actually going to be a kill right away on Arthas. Killing Arthas that quickly is a big deal.
Wow, look at this.
Very low. Gonna fall as well, and so is Spanker. Spanker gets spanked out of his lane, and this tower is going to fall as well. The aggression, I mean, we saw Kerrigan bans, right? Earlier?
Yeah, we were seeing Kerrigan bans. Yeah.
For a reason. For a reason.
Right. I mean, Glaurung is known to have a good Kerrigan, and we've seen him play in the past time and time again. He's got a solid Kerrigan. But I thought the most interesting part was the fly up from Falstad. I was like, well, that's overkill. I thought maybe, just they were going to get the one kill, but now they're in just such a giant, nice position. Okay.
Now that's the thing about Tyrande. Tyrande's a rare pick, but on Cursed Hollow and Blackheart's Bay, Tyrande has so much utility in stalling out tributes, and especially when you consider the whole new you got to soak the lanes, you got to maximize the experience, and not get the tribute. That's
not
big,
again.
But Spanker once again just getting spanked.
And the polymorph was just there just to make sure he didn't have the opportunity to brew to get out of the situation. Not that it really was going to help, but
the icing on the spank cake.
I don't know. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, a lot of aggression here in the top lane as Echo comes from the backside, but it's not really going to be enough pressure here as Narak is going to just keep on
Glorious isn't going to poke in too hard. Glaurung is almost entirely out of mana. He's not even enough there to pull off his combo. Kerrigan is known for having mana issues. If she's doing too much work, throwing too many of her spells out, she's going to be running low on mana very quick.
Tyrande's the same way too. I mean, the mana in general is kind of going to be rough in the earlier part of the game, but it does get better as time goes on for those two heroes. But right now, I mean, both teams soaking lanes. I mean, they're being Clairvoyant's being smart about making sure they soak their lanes. They were only out of the bottom lane for a short period of time, and they were.
But they're overextending a lot.
They are.
That's already at 5 kills, going 4 minutes into the game. Like that's.
And Glaurung, just look at this. Just how it stepped up a little bit too far. Glaurung was there just in time to throw down his combo, and ZP's just leaps on up.
They're not respecting the stun capability that Glorious has. They have a lot of stuns available to them. And okay, I like this little, not quite a party bush, but pretty close. It's a nice setup. You can see that Narak is positioning himself. He feels a little bit nervous about the situation.
And we see the Howling Blast go down, but not going to get a lot done here. Atlanta, Echo, we have 4 members here, and Vala is on her way to be the 5th. Spanker goes in, but I mean, until level 10, you don't have that super amazing survivability on Chen, so he's just kind of doing it. But Narak actually just channeling this tribute.
They're doing this 3v5 right now. They gave it up. They had people soaking. They had Taika soaking top lane and ZP's was soaking bottom lane, and they still managed to cap the tribute while all 5 members of Clairvoyant Gaming were there.
ZP's is going to get out of this with only a few scratches on him. The Golem is going to go to Glorious. I mean, everything. I mean, yeah, they see it with the Headwig. The Headwig just traveling across the map.
They're not going to get there in time, I don't think. Oh, maybe they will towards the end of it, but they have heroics up already. You don't want to jump into. Oh,
you can't even engage this. Glorious has heroics, like you said. Shakana going down, hitting just the Echo. It looks like there. The Golem will be captured here for Glorious, and they're going in with their heroics. They have the Odin just doing so much damage, even with the Sun Emerald, the Wind to secure that kill. And they take 2 kills. They take a Golem. Level 10 is still a far journey here for.
Yeah, it is. There was no need to do that. And the best thing that they could do in that situation is to just hang back, soak lanes, maybe cap some mercenary camps so they can get to level 10. No reality are you going to win that fight. Maybe they were hoping to try to time things out with a Golem stop and just distract them a little bit, and they're still getting aggressive. None of this is. They have to. I don't know. They have to give this up. I feel like if they try to fight this out, it's not going to go well. That said, a lot of Glorious's heroics are off cooldown.
Yeah, it's level 12 to level 9. You see the amount of damage coming out. Even though the cooldowns are there, the level difference gives you a stat bonus as well. Spanker in the backline doesn't have Panda Bells to apply additional aggression, so he's a primary target to kill. Because once he's at 10, he's so hard to kill. But right now, he falls immediately, and three kills there. I mean, it's really. And Glorious is just.
They have the Golem pushing down top lane too, and they're going to get this bottom one. All right.
And the Curse. The Golem is going to get ridiculous efficiency right now.
Sure.
It will probably fall to these minions that only have 1 HP, but as these minions come in, they will wreck them pretty quickly. Golem here going to get capped as well.
All right, Jake.
It's rough. They're in a really rough spot.
Let's brainstorm a little bit here. What can Clairvoyant Gaming do to make it back in this game? They have to change something drastically. Their approach to how they're taking the team fights right now.
Okay.
What do they do?
They need to stop overextending, and they need to respect level 10. And they've hit 10 now. They have rogues. They have a chance. Getting Syracuse, that's great. The combo stuns are there. That's what they need. The Emerald Wind to try to disengage. They force on that rogue as well. But Echo needs to back that up right quick. He does have Army of Dead, so he's moving forward. You know what? That stun was huge. Nicely done by Echo. Getting Glaurung. Panda Palace is down. That's what they need to do, Corey, what they just did. Because they turned that around as soon as they hit 10, they had the heroic.
That's almost a wipe. Nirok's going to get up, but Cthon Luck is definitely not getting out of there. We see that the Hunter's Mark goes down. Onto Cthon Luck is going to take a significant more damage.
Okay. We got a game.
That's good stuff. They're still 2 levels down, and they're still having a considerable amount of push going down on each lane, but that's a start. It's a start.
The curse is going to wear off here, and we're going to see this golem get some work done on this tower, continuing to push that level advantage further even more for Glorious. But
okay, so not that these talent choices have any particular synergy with each other, but 4 members of Glorious have taken Rewind, so that's fun. With Cthon Luck taking Relentless, so they have a lot of access to their utility. Especially, I think Brightwing's one of the stranger ones there to take Rewind. It's good. No. It's good, but you get double poly. Sometimes we see them taking Sprint just to make sure that they can get into position.
Sprint happens, but more often than less, Rewind is the common talent for Brightwing.
And yeah, Rewind on the other heroes. It just so happens that their comp just feeds into like the good builds are them taking Rewind, so they have a lot of access to damage output, extra stuns for Kerrigan. So
the Shadow Swap goes down, and Echo is taking a lot of damage. Oh my goodness, the Shock and Awe is dealing so much damage to Glaurung. He's going to barely get out of here. Syracuse going to fall as well to Spanker, but they're able to burn him down, and Caterpillar needs to back on up here.
Yeah, they have a 3-2 advantage in that team fight, and Kerrigan was able to do so much more damage than he should have been able to because of his trait. He was just like, oh, I'm probably going to die here. Let me just dive in, pull my combo off one more time, and it gave him enough sustain to really burn down the remaining 2 heroes that were in that situation. The 2 that we see dead now, Tyrande and Arthas. So, nice on, I mean, he ended up dying in the end, but he got a lot done.
Yeah, but it's 3 for 2. They're a Knight's push, and they just got another inner tower, rather, and that's going to be 650 experience on the board. They're going to go up here, grab these giants, and Caterpillar, that's a really, really risky place.
He does have Divine Storm.
But do you want to burn Divine Storm for this? Emerald Wind is used the cap.
I don't even know if I would have Emerald Winded it. But they don't know what's on the other side of the bush. I mean,
it's a force. Yeah, they're making sure they can disengage safely, and
yeah, only
it's not a bad play.
Yeah, only another 50 seconds cooldown on that. It's not like the worst, cooldown. Cooldown to be waiting for. It's unlikely that there'll be another fight happening in that time, so I understand.
Well, everyone is making their way down to this tribute.
Yep.
It's 0-0 tributes on the board right now, and ZP's is there right away. No way he's going to be able to gap this for free, though.
No. He's going to go in, throw down his Death Coil onto that, and his Shadow Stock goes down.
Getting the vision to everyone on their team. Atlanta getting burned on almost immediately. Glaurung will be burned on the opposite spectrum, falling as well. Shock and Awe getting some good use on Echo there. And look at that straight positioning in the little hole. Kind of a risky spot to be in, but it did a lot of work. Echo super low as well. I mean, honestly, big heroics on everyone. Nirak might fall to the poison here. The pulse is not going to be in time, and he does in fact fall. Syracuse, I mean, it's 2 for 2 right now. It's dead even, but with the Odin available. But Panda Pals is basically a reverse Odin on the opposite side. Syracuse.
Oh, come on.
He's going to fall. He's going to fall. Caterpillar is here try to help zone out his Chen. Get his Chen out of here because Cthon Luck doesn't want to let Chen
he messed that up. It's the lightning one. The blue one is the one that you go back to. So he didn't position.
That was a mistake. That was a mistake, and he pays with his life. I don't know why Caterpillar tried to throw his wave of light to just stop him. I don't even think he was mounted.
Yeah.
It was really a questionable play because he could have safely run up there and just thrown a hammer down to stun. Like, just stun him. And then your Chen lives.
Right. He might have even had Shrink Ray available to him, which would have slowed down Tychus as well. There's a lot of things he could have done. So for those of you guys that play Chen a little bit, just a little fun fact: if you're in Panda Pals, it's the lightning one. When the cooldown expires on it, that's the one.
But we have a big engagement here from Clairvoyant going in there. Rex is falling almost immediately. Divine Storm to secure that kill. Glaurung though trying to pull him through the wall. He gets the Envenom from Arthas on him, and they're going to try to steal this golem. It's at about 10% health here.
No, they're going to get it.
Flies on in. Will they be able to do something big to stop this? It doesn't look like it.
That was a pretty nice play from Clairvoyant there. They were just able to push out. They saw that there were only 3 people capping that golem, so we have the numbers on them. We can push in.
Yep.
And they were able to zone out. Actually, some pretty nice stuns coming out of Tyrande there. They were able to zone out the enemy team while they were taking the cap.
Yeah, it was a really nice heads-up play. giving them 2 tributes to 0 right now.
Yep.
Of course, there have been 3 collected on the side of Glorious at this point in time, but getting the Golem and Hunter's Mark will allow them to burn through this Golem.
They're coming back. They brought the experience just about even. I mean, the amount of damage that's been done to forts and structures, certainly in Glorious's favor, but they're keeping up.
All right, so they know they're here. They had the Tyrande arrow, the headway going down. The immediate pull in from Glaurung doing a lot of damage. Shockanok going down as well. Gets the kill on Tyrande. We see Spanker have to pop his Panda Palace here to try to defeat Glaurung. Glaurung is super low, but the Maelstrom's giving him a lot of shield to give extra sustainability. Clown's backing on up. Kubi, I don't know if it's going to go the way they want. Glaurung is staying alive so long. It's really, he should have died so much earlier than that, and he just got so much more
damage.
That's
like the scary thing that I'm noticing about Glaurung's character. He just doesn't die. Like, he gets down to 5% HP and just keeps getting enough shield. That takes a little more damage, and it's just like his HP is just balancing. I mean, okay. Initially that looked really good for Clairvoyant. Yeah, it did. But they backed up from Glaurung. They're like, oh, we'll get him. He's almost dead. Something will hit him and he'll die. But no one was there to finish that kill. Yeah, I mean, as scary as Glaurung is making Kerrigan look right now, it used to be double the shields. Oh, God. Please, let's not talk about those days. Let's not talk about dark days. It used to be double the shield, so Glaurung is doing a really nice job maximizing the utility of that trait for Kerrigan. Now they get this Golem, and they're going to get this tribute, and that's not going to give them a curse, but it puts a curse on the board for them, or a tribute on the board, which will stall the curse out a little bit longer, because Clairvoyant really desperately wants that curse. It looks like they're going to trade out Knights here, and they have to deal with the Golem. So how Glorious chooses to capitalize on the fact that they know Clairvoyant Gaming is going to be on the bottom lane dealing with the Golem, we'll have to see. Oh, it doesn't look like they're getting too much out of it, actually. Yeah, they won't get much of it at all. I mean, honestly, they should be able to clear up the gold just in time to go defend the tribute. This Golem does a bit of damage, but it's going to fall, and the tribute should be spawning pretty soon as we do get the Knights here for Glorious. They're pushing. Okay, so there's going to be a contention point here at these Giants. We can see that both teams are sort of posturing. They're taking vision, whether this forces Clairvoyant to back up or not. There's going to be a fight here. There's going to be a fight indeed, and we have Glaurung and Nirak here right away. Bribe goes down, so they're actually going to grab these Giants back on up. They don't need to fight anymore, they just leave. Yeah, let's get these leave. Yeah. That's just, it's more of a denial play than anything else. Of course, these Giants aren't going to really end up doing too much damage, but it's damage that Clairvoyant doesn't have access to anymore. Right. It's experience. It's something you don't have to worry about. Right. There's like a lot of benefits to grabbing that. It's just out of the way. And if you got the Bribe stacks, you want to use them. Yeah, and it gives you a nice posture to take this tribute that is spawning in the top side here. And they are moving out full force. Clairvoyant they want this one. Yep, the Hedwig lands in Cathan Lux, so they have vision of all 4 of these. They know exactly where they are because it does give you vision for a little bit while after it does hit on that player. They're posturing around this. Nirak, again, always going for that channel. He just always gets right in the middle. I don't like Glorious's position here. It's risky. ZP's in the front line. They have a lot of damage, but Glaurung coming from the backside and actually backs up as the Lunar Flare goes down to reduce some damage. Spanker getting super low, but he does have Panda Palace. Panda Palace is used. Strafe going down. Shockanok hits nothing at all. Army of the Dead is going to keep Arthas nice and healthy here. And Caterpillar goes down. Echo goes down as well. Clown is very low. All 5 members are up. As I say that, Falstead falls. So it's 1. Oh, no. 2. Oh, my goodness. That was actually a friendly arrow, so it looks scarier than it was, but he's going to fall anyways. Oh, no. He messed up on the which one to die. It looks like Atlanta is going to be trying to get out. Tries to land the stun. No good. Not hitting the stun. He's going to be able to dash in. He's going to have another combo in just a few seconds. So. Yep. That's going to secure the kill there. And, yeah, only Clown survives. Yeah, that's the second time that we've seen Spanker mess that up with his Panda Palace. He's not... The W is... It forces all of the clones to separate. Right. And he's not positioning the blue clone into the furthest position, if you will. Which is what you want to do. Right. That's how you get the most... escaping with. Yeah, that's the one you escape with. That's the one that follows when the timer goes off. That's the one you go back to. You can't individually micro them, but you can force them to separate. And that, if you guys have never played Chen before... You don't. I mean, they kind of move as one. Yeah. So it's a tricky thing. You just got to remember the blue one is actually my ticket out. But he continues to hit W in a situation where blue is closest to the enemy, so he's going to get pushed into the enemy, and then unless you have the Q immediately afterwards to pull all of them back to the furthest position, the timer expires and he's there, a vulnerable Chen sitting right next to the enemy. And he could have gotten out of that situation if he had positioned his clones just a little bit better. So it looks like they're actually going to be giving up the curse in favor of grabbing a Golem. So what's going to happen here is they're going to grab this Golem. The curse will be picked up for free by Clairvoyant. It'll be their first curse of the game. And
I guess Glorious will try to take a team fight.
I don't like it. They have more to lose. Glorious does.
Right.
They still have 2 of their front forts available, so they're going to get more push out of it than Glorious. But I think they should have denied it. It's more about denying this curse than it is about them taking it.
Yeah, they're forcing them to defend.
Yeah.
And Clairvoyant has the Hearth. They don't get to actually utilize their curse. They're getting a little bit of push from Chen, but Chen actually already Hearth back, so all 5 are defending. And yeah, their lanes will get pushed out, but they're not benefiting from the experience you can get from it. They're not benefiting from the extra aggression you can get from it. And level 20 is here for Glorious when it's not there.
I think at the end of this curse, but if they decide to stall, which they honestly don't really have the option to, if they did, they will hit 20 during this team fight based on the creeps that are taking the forts right now.
Well, they very well could. 21 here for Glorious, only 19, and 20 is hit here, so we're going to see the level 20 talents. Syracuse using a shotgun on his last fall. Oh my goodness, Spanker actually fell before he could use Panda Pals. I don't know if it was on cooldown, but it didn't go off, and we're seeing a lot of damage go down the core. Guys, it looks like that's going to be game.
Yeah, I mean, not too much to say there. The Golem's, it's strong, and you gotta. It's another person on the map that you have to deal with. That's doing stuns. That's dealing a ton of damage to your core. You have to position yourself in the exact right way to take that team fight.
You heard it here, guys. Golems are people too.
They are people.
That's another person on the map. You gotta respect them. Golems are people too. Hashtag on Twitter. So, all right, let's rewind and look at that game a little bit. It started off just really poorly for Clairvoyant, getting picked off, overcommitting, just being a little bit too greedy, not respecting the roaming Kerrigan, more or less.
Yeah, there was a lot of roaming that was happening in the beginning. They were getting a ton of stun combos off that just led to early kills. I think they started up maybe like 4 to 2 or something like that. Maybe even worse. Probably worse. And then they hit level 10 very early, and then they were like 2 levels behind, and they were still trying to take team fights.
It was actually 12-9, and they tried to fight at a Golem when it was 12-9. And that's, or maybe it was a tribute, but either way, that's such a massive disadvantage. Not only you're lacking heroics, but you're lacking a stat advantage.
Right.
But once they hit 10,
yeah, they started to shape things up a little bit. They were picking proper fights, even some fights that I really didn't think were good fights. They still managed to turn around. I'm thinking of the one at the curse in the bottom lane when Glorious grabbed their first curse and they were able to pick off Syracuse. So that was good. They were able to sort of twist those situations in their favor. But then things just started falling out of their favor. Glorious was picking up a lot of momentum, and they were able to just push through to the victory.
So a little bit more specific here. Tyrande, do you feel like she carried her weight? Because with Hunter's Mark and the stuns were on point.
Yeah.
The vision was on point.
Yeah.
But like she's still a really rare pick. Do you think she's worth grabbing?
I think that particular fight that I was talking about where Falstad was burned down really fast, I think that had a lot to do with Hunter's Mark. That was the only situation that I can think of where she actually pulled her weight. I mean, she has a lot of utility, so she can't say that she was like really bringing the team down, but was she helping enough? In this particular composition, did they have the damage that they needed?
Like, when you consider Nazeebo as an option, when you consider, all the other big assassins were taken, like Nazeebo, Illidan, is she like a worthy assassin? I mean, she gives you that vision,
even
which
Sergeant
is great.
Hammer,
wow,
that's more DPS output.
Yeah, okay.
Don't agree?
You just love Hammer.
I do.
I know.
But
you're just like you have a reason to talk about Sergeant Hammer and you take it. I'm just like this guy.
Yeah, but you're right though. Nazeebo, Illidan. I think that there were better choices, and I thought maybe they had some. I don't know, particular strategy moving forward with Tyrande, but I didn't see it, to be honest. So
all right, well, we're gonna let the teams strike their maps and figure out what map we're gonna play on, and we'll be back in just 1 or 2 minutes, guys. So stay tuned.